Today with us Leo Lara. We have it here. He's from Malaga, right?
Yes, I'm from Malaga.
Yeah, but he's been working abroad also for some years.
7 years. 7 years outside Malaga. I came back like 1 year ago.
Yeah, he's a techie guy. I mean, you can ask everything about the product and about programming, and we love techie guys. And he was one of the founders of Uniplaces. You know the company? Maybe you probably know. It's a company that raised some money.
Yeah, I think $5 million in total lately.
$5 million. Okay, so he can give you a lot of information about some other things. Today, okay, we wanted to focus on how to create a good product. The presentation is also touching some parts of how to create a good team, and about hiring, and about creating a good atmosphere. So it's really a mix. So that's it. I think it's better if you
Thank you, Rafa.
And we're going to be using the slides. Okay, should I change it for you?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Awesome. This thing does it work, or I use the?
No. That is for the Apple TV. Like that? Yeah. So all yours. Thank you.
So hello everyone. I'm Leo Lara. I want to first to thank you, Rafa, and everyone at both. I think I'm very happy to be here. I think after living abroad and coming back to Malaga, I'm really astonished and really happy to see that there is something like Bolt going on in Malaga right now. It's really different from the things that used to be in Malaga, kind of much more global minded and much more kind of in the style of the things that I've seen abroad. And I think like there are very, very interesting startups here that from different countries. I think like kind of it's very interesting. I really see like we can start building like kind of ecosystem of startups in Malaga in these years, and it's going to be amazing. I think Malaga is going to be a perfect place for a startup ecosystem. Let's talk a bit about me to introduce you, so you kind of know like kind of what is my background, my story, a bit my backstory. So I'm from Malaga originally. I think when I was 8 years old or something, I got my hands on a Commodore 64, and I started coding. And really, I never stopped coding since then. I mean, of course, were very, very basic things, but I really love to code from the beginning. Also, very early, also not that early, but very early also, I developed some inclinations for not just like coding, but also building products for people for a goal. So I think, I mean, I went to work in IT stuff like from like 17 years old. I went like kind of assembling computers in a shop, etc. I went to the University of Malaga to study computer science, what they call informatics engineering. But I was like the first year was very good, but then I get motivated a bit with the style of the things going on, so I didn't finish in Malaga. Then I mean I work in a cyber cafe, for example, and then I develop like a system to. This is very early. This is I think 122. I'm now 35. I develop a system to kind of automatically reformat all the computers just pressing a button in the cyber, and then I tried to commercialize, etc. in Malaga, but it really was I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to commercialize anything at the moment. And then like other people like from the US starting selling products that were similar, so they were kind of like was in the right direction. A product, for example, Then, well, I keep working in IT and kind of part-time studying computer science in Malaga, always, and software engineering. And then for kind of, wasn't really planned, but for things of the life, I ended up like going to England and studying computer science in the University of Bath. That is a very, very nice university. And I really got really engaged there, like very differently from what I saw in Malaga University. Really engaged with the professors that really were really passionate about what they were doing, and I really enjoyed my time there. And when I finished, I came back here. I stayed in Malaga 1 year. I developed a project that now they call these beacons, like Bluetooth beacons, with some colleagues. We built kind of then, I think in 2010 or something like that, 2009, we developed like something like that, a very kind of primitive version of that, but we didn't really get to commercialize it. And then I got an offer to work at ARM. I don't know if you know the company. Like 99% of the smartphones and the tablets, the microprocessor, are done by this company that was founded in the UK, in Cambridge. There is even a movie about them, well, the Sinclair and them, etc., etc. I don't remember the name of the movie. And then I went to Cambridge. I really was also a breakthrough again, like, because I met really, really, really geek people with a lot of knowledge, like from all around the world. They were hiring. It was amazing. And also I learned that it's good to don't do the things the normal way, because I did very variety of things like web programming in PHP and embedded things with the beacons, embedded software in C++. They hired me because of that, because they couldn't find anywhere in the world like someone with that kind of weird mix of skill. And I was working there for 2 years on server software on the ARM architecture. So they make microprocessors for my smartphones and tablets, and they almost have the monopoly of it. But they wanted to enter the server environment, and I was working on software of server software of that. It was very cool because it was bleeding edge. But I kind of I again kind of feel the need of developing a product, developing my own project, and not working for a company. And I went to fund Uniplaces with with 3 guys that was mostly business oriented, and that's kind of like my first startup that really has been successful. And really during the 2 years there, I have learned really a lot. It has been like almost like an MBA. Then I come to Malaga and doing some consulting for startups and exploring some startup ideas, and I'm founding with a Polish colleague that moved to Malaga, something called Malaga Makers, that we're trying to make like a community for entrepreneurs and tech people that is more kind of global minded than the usual things.
By the way, we have a meeting on the 12th or
11th, yes, yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. 12 or 11, we have to, yeah. So it's like joint Bolt and Malaga Makers. So all the Bolt startups are invited to come to do elevator pitch.
Yeah.
And we will have nice. We had 2 meetings. We had 2 meetings in Malaga Makers already. It has been successful because there are other things in Malaga going on, but this is the only one that is kind of global minded and is kind of English based. So there are people as far as from Córdoba, Granada, and Marbella. They came to Malaga to these events, and we have a really huge feedback. Is kind of the goal of this, kind of creating a kind of a community, just networking, interesting talks. That's kind of it, but in a kind of more global-minded setup that is usually in Malaga.
You're gonna be beers.
Yes, free beers also there always. Yes, kind of. We try to keep that free beers rule for all the events, and we're also looking for sponsors that want to buy the beers also. So if some of you start interested, you can do a promotion. That's also interesting. So about I've been talking about the talk because what to do. I thought about you, no, about what was going to be the public. So I didn't make like a very technical talk because, and I didn't make a very kind of a talk like for very like about very advanced stages of a startup, mostly based on the bootstrapping of a startup, about the product and the. I was in the place I was CTO product manager, so about the product management and the technology. In a startup bootstrapping environment, but for like how everyone in the startup contributes to this, no, like kind of like it's not a technical talk at all. So let's just start this, okay? So to start, I want to like kind of talk about something I think it'd be interesting if we get like some interaction. I want to ask like people opinions about this question. It's not like I didn't know. I have to search a bit, Google a bit to find out information about it. How many engineers do you think work on the mobile app of Facebook? How many software engineers do you think are working? 50? 50? Around 50. 100.
I would say 1,000.
1,000? Wow. Thousands? Okay. Someone else wants to give an idea? Okay. So I check in Quora, someone from Facebook said a few hundred. Okay? That's like someone like a product designer, like a few hundred of software engineers are working on the mobile app of Facebook.
Sounds like a lot, or at least for me.
Okay.
How many developers?
How many developers built the Android phone? Not the phone, the software, the operating system, kind of like that runs. Well, do you think? Huh?
4.
4? Okay. We have 4 somewhere. 10? 80. Okay.
200.
200.
1,000.
1,000. 1 million. Okay. So I don't know really the answer to the whole Android does. Like Android is based on Linux, like the core, like the kernel, what is called the kernel, is based on Linux. So on average, on every version of Linux, there is 1,000 developers involved. Okay. And that's just like the kernel. I guess like they should be for the rest. There should be a few thousand at least. I guess in the rest. What do you think? Is too much? Is too little? In ARM, there were a lot of people working for the Linux kernel from the Android kernel. So there's like these things are open source. But most of the developers are working for big companies that their products use that. So it's kind of a multi-company effort. It's interesting. Also, how it's coordinated, etc. The complexity. How many developers do you think there are in Twitter? Huh? 15. Okay. Someone else? Some hundreds. Perhaps I'm moving too much for the someone else wants to give a chance? Okay. So the answer to this search from Quora, someone for Twitter said approximately was like total employees were in 2010. The total employees was 110. And 65% of that was software engineers. So like 60, 70, around 2010. There is something in the IPO or something, they said they were going to hire 80 or something. No, what do you think of that?
Tiny compared to the other one.
Yeah. But it's also like you think Twitter, no? It's like tweet, retweet. It seems so tweet something like yeah, like direct message doesn't have many features. You know? It doesn't have many features. Okay, cool. So let's like the thing. Why I make these questions? There is a goal for this. It's not just random. It's like for people that are not working inside the software engineering, it seems like a dimensional. What software is bigger than other software? What makes the what makes the effort in the software? How much people? It's kind of like difficult to grasp. You know, when you, for example, if you open a car, you see there is a lot of, I don't know anything about mechanics. There is a lot of tubes there, a lot of bugs, a lot of weird things, and you can kind of see that and imagine a bit, perhaps not with all certainty, but imagine the complexity involved in understanding how to make an engine and how to really build the whole car. But with software, really, most of the people never see inside the chassis. Okay, so we really like for the people who are not building it, to grasp the complexity of it is very difficult, and most people only see kind of the tip of the iceberg, kind of see like the 5% of what software is what they are looking at, and it's normal. They get the impression that is it, and they are just seeing the tip of the iceberg. Okay, and making software is difficult. It's difficult. Making a good software is difficult, and we have to kind of it's difficult to communicate for non-tech people how difficult it is. I think that's kind of more the conclusion. It's difficult to communicate how difficult it is and how hard it is, because yeah, it's not like the car you can look inside. Another question: there are all of you have like technical co-founders, or
you're looking for
some of them are looking for? Yeah, I want to talk about this because I found a lot of people that come to me like, oh, how can I find a technical co-founder? Do you want to help me? Like it's very common, okay, and it's very normal. You shouldn't feel bad about it because it's a common problem, okay. I think the best advice that I can give you is try to show traction in the startup before getting the technical co-founder, or you have to or you should have that, or perhaps if you have like a very good track record career that also can help you to convince them, to convince her to join you. Because sometimes what is happening is, if you analyze kind of almost financially, when you ask a technical co-founder to join you, is like the non-technical co-founder has an idea that is his idea, that he really believes strongly on it, and is asking really the tech co-founder to make all the upfront risk, take all the upfront risk, and build it, and then see if it works. So it's actually like you are sometimes asking the technical co-founder to take all the risk upfront. Also, you have to think of the opportunity cost, no? So if you are kind of a tech guy, is easier to get a job probably. So you are getting someone almost certainly out of a job to join the startup, and if you are not already kind of manually without a product showing traction, you are actually asking him to do all the upfront, or take all the risk. No, as the startup progress, obviously the risk decreases. So the work you are doing at the beginning kind of is creating has more risk to do it financially, etc., etc. And alternative. Living in Malaga is very bad for my English. An alternative is to try to build a prototype without a tech co-founder. it is possible, but it is very dangerous, okay? Because you can get into a consulting firm and with a consulting firm in a project that never ends, and you spend a lot of money and never ends because this kind of thing happen, because it's inherent to the complexity of the software, and it really requires some experience to manage even the relation with the consulting firm. But I mean, it's possible. The best thing is if you can really get some traction, do it manually, gain 100 customers on your own, and then it's going to be more easy to go on to the technical fund and say, look, here, I have this. If we make this product, this that is working on this small scale, in this case, it's going to be awesome. Okay, let's pass to the next slide. So one of the things that we have to consider always, like in project management, this is what they call the project management triangle, okay? There is this, although like they usually put the quality inside the triangle. That's why there are 4 things. So the thing is, like, you have these 4 variables: time, the resource cost, like how many people is working on this. Sorry if I change very radically, but it's like everything kind of, I try to tie them together later. So you have time, so the time you have to build the product, or the time you need to build the product. You have the how many people working you need to build the product. You have the quality, you know, how perfection is, let's say, you are being with different variables. And you have like kind of the functionality, the what they call a scope of functionality of features, that is basically the same as what you are building is going to be able to do. Okay. Usually, like the time and the resources are very limited in a startup. They're kind of fixed and very constrained, and the only things you can really play are with the quality and with the functionality. Okay, and that's kind of have to link with the rest of the talk. Like this is the quality and the functionality is how managing the scope of functionality is how we can impact more on doing the project well, on time. The most important thing for your starter is to be able to launch on a reduced time, because you don't have all the time of the world, especially bootstrapping. You don't have fines, etc. So it's really hard. So a bit to talk a bit about the dynamics, okay, that happen while building a product inside startups. Let's get like two archetypes, like 2 people that are kind of extremes, like 2 different extremes, like can be part of a startup. No, we have Juan, that has a background in door-to-door sales. No, that is a very persuasive, extrovert person. For him, more is more, so he wants to sell more products, like visit more people. Okay, they need to stay. He gets a lot of rejection, so he has to stay super positive. He has to be mega optimism all the time, and optimistic all the time. No, he's all the time like looking at business opportunities. He's all like he's very multitasker. Like he's talking on the phone with a client, then going to see another, all the time switching. Or when someone asks him something, he does it right away when someone calls him. And this is what we call that he works synchronously. Okay, so if someone asks him something, he does it right away, and give the person who is talking waits on the phone, for example, and he is searching or finding out whatever, and then gives the answer. Okay, and then for Pepe, that is like kind of like super geek guy. Okay, he's very analytic, no? So he's like looking at the pros and the cons of the things. Is more introvert, and for him less is more. So he knows like he, if he kind of get to the core of the things, so to the key things, he can really make a very good product. Okay, but if he's distracted on many things, is going to be detrimental. So for him, it's completely the opposite. Like for him, less is more. for him, like in his experience, if when he's extremely optimistic, what happens is like he let down people because he said, "Oh, this is going to take 1 week," and then it takes 2 months, and then everyone kind of gets pissed off with him. So then he kind of learns that the best thing to do is to try to do a balance, not to be extremely optimistic because it would be bad for him. He knows how to build staff, etc. But looking at building opportunities in the same way, and like kind of like the skills are hardly as acquired. Like experience is very important, and the difference with someone with more experience sometimes is huge. He's always on the computer, while Juan is always on the phone and talking with someone. He's always with the computer, and he works like in blocks of hours. He doesn't work in these small bursts that Juan does, and that is what we call he works asynchronously. So he has a task. So if he's working for someone gives the task. He goes, makes the task, and comes back with the answer. The other person is not waiting or interrupting. Like we go to work synchronously. Okay? And these like kind of like extreme kind of cases. Help us a bit like how much misunderstanding and how much kind of how difficult can be for these two people to work together, but it's necessary for most startups. And also, like most of the time, this Juan and Pepe has not worked already previously with other people of the other type. So Juan has always worked with salespeople, and Pepe always with engineers, etc. And that also creates more kind of difficulty understanding. Okay. So based on this, I want to talk a bit about some kind of situation I saw in startups. And I was in an incubator. We were like very several interesting, successful startups in the same floor, and we were together. And I saw many things, not just in my own startups, like things that happen in the startup, but things that happen in those startups, because we always were sharing stuff, and I was kind of the one of the most senior kind of software engineers, etc. So I learned a lot about different anti-dynamics, I would call it. In software engineering, we study what we call anti-patterns. That is also studied in architecture. So it's like there are things that are wrong, like kind of like you learn like the how to do things wrongly to avoid them. So this is kind of the same example, like how regarding the product inside the startup, you can create kind of wrong dynamics. Okay, and there's a few examples. One is the Hackster. I saw this. Like there is perhaps like the CEO really trusts a lot the CTO and kind of like him to do the product, and the CTO is not as interested in the kind of in the business mission as in the technology. So he's kind of a hipster of the new technical things. So he's always trying new technical things and modifying the product to use the latest database, and then rebuilding the whole product to use the latest programming language. And what happens there is like the product never gets to be stable, okay? Because it's kind of continuously restarting in the background without really a business connection or a business reason. So that's anti-pattern. We have to really look at the product in the context of the business and the business mission and the business timing. Because I think people will come to tell you like I don't know, finance is important, marketing is important, or I can come to tell you product is important. But I think the really important thing in startup is time. There is very little time usually, and you need to get something there in a few months, etc. that is working. So we have to keep that also in mind. always in mind, I think. Okay, another is kind of the mirror, no? Okay, there is like a visionary business guy that can be a bit like Juan, like he's very he's also very reactive to the work synchronously and reacts to people, to new information all the time. And he kind of also, because perhaps like kind of the product people, the tech people, also are more shy or more introvert or have to come to the startup with the expectation that they are going to be told what they have to do. Becomes this kind of the business guy, perhaps like try to become kind of the product guy, what I call by proxy. So this is kind of, for example, to give an example to explain it, like if I don't know anything about art really, and then I try to make a sculpture, like giving directions to a person that makes a sculpture. I don't know how that's in English, like a person that makes sculptures, like for example marble sculptures. How is the sculpture? Okay. So a sculpture. So I'm software engineer, try to make a sculpture, giving instruction to a sculpture and tell him, no, do that hand that way, move it like that. Like, I think it's obvious in this example, it's obvious that that's kind of probably won't go like work. It's not going to get out of there like a nice, marvelous sculpture if we do it like way. So that's sometimes because software is a dimensional and you don't see the engine that happens in startups. Okay, sometimes that happens in the startups. The business guy has a vision, has the idea to see the business opportunity, and then kind of micromanage in a way that really doesn't get to anything because he's trying to be a designer by proxy, a tech person by proxy, kind of micromanaging that. Is, for example, to give another example, so for example, I'm a kind of land developer. I see opportunity because I have a lot of experience in tourism. I see opportunity to build a hotel right there, okay? And then what I do normally, because I will get the land, of course, and then I will hire an architect to make a project. Of course, like I will get direction about kind of what is the level, economical level of the clients expect for the hotel, or we need a swimming pool, etc., etc. But an architect will make a plan, a project, and then like there will be like a project manager in the building site and a lot of construction working building the hotel. No, the business developer will not go there and start like telling the construction workers to move the wall to this way or change the faucets or whatever. No, but that's sometimes happening in the startups. No, that's one of the most common dynamics. And also what happens is because of that creates like a dynamic of like having an internal client. Okay, so it's like kind of the startup, like the people working on the product becomes like a consulting firm inside the startup, and there is this business guy kind of sending them kind of task like a client, like make me this, and then evaluating everything kind of to the taste of this visionary entrepreneur. And that's like this reason to outsource your product. It is bad to outsource your product if you're a startup. And one of the reasons is because the dynamic doesn't really work in terms of time and cost for the startup. So if you replicate that inside the startup, it's causing almost the same effect that if you were outsourcing the project. Okay. And then I think there is another kind of variant of this that is kind of like this visionary kind of business guy, kind of associate. There is another co-founder is a designer. One of the things that happen in startups that we have to understand is like a designer can generate like in design, etc., like work for 4 engineers full time. A full-time designer just like making designs, for example, like and trying different things could generate work for many software engineers. Okay, if you have like a business guy, a designer, and engineer, probably the designer might need to work on other things while in the first stage of the startup, not just full time on design. Because like if you see any developing startups, like the proportion of designers doesn't mean like design is not important. Design is very important, but you have to consider that the proportion of like hours of design and the proportion of software engineering hours are not the same. So then what happened usually is like this, like the visionary business guy and the designer. So start like he becomes kind of the designer by proxy and start trying things, having ideas, redesigning, and sending all that to the engineers, and that's like never go forward. The project, and kind of like, because it's always kind of reimagining itself and never gets to the user. That is the actual goal. Get the product to the user and see how they react. Not to evaluate always the product regarding kind of your own, like the founder's taste or one of the founder's taste. I don't know if this is I explain myself well or not. Okay. Let's go forward. Some needs about for non-tech people about tech, about software engineering. Okay, so that's for the movies. In the movies, you see like the hackers and all these things, like tapping, like, oh, I'm entering in the Pentagon, like tapping very quickly, and that's completely absurd. No, that doesn't work like that. Like the software engineer spend very little time typing. No, it's like kind of one of the kind of misconceptions that some people that are not working software engineering have. Okay, so software engineering not just programming. Software engineering is also analyzing, understanding what is the need, what is the goal of the product, and kind of making a plan for it, and kind of understanding to the detail all the consequences of that on implementing that. So this also for the other side, like people that are kind of the tech co-founder kind of shouldn't expect that they are going to given to being told what they have to build. Okay, to be a tech co-founder is very challenging precisely because you get to an environment that is changing, that is not completely defined what you have to do, and you have to, the tech co-founder has to go and find out what needs to be built to avoid also entering in this visionary, like if how do I go to the previous one? So
you can type that.
Yes, okay. Yeah, because what I want to say is like this is not like kind of like entirely the fault of the business guy. Many times it's also the fault of the tech guy that is not proactive enough to say no. Like we need to do this a different way, and I go and understand the business, and I talk to the clients, etc., to really get my idea of what I have to build. Okay, so I mean, it works both ways. It can be the fault of both also to get into that dynamic. So yeah, so like software engineers can do customer support. Okay, software engineer in some kind of marketing projects can even do it better because like kind of the project management skills are very useful for doing some marketing projects. So that's also, you have something you have to keep in mind. The tech co-founder can and should do other activities that are not only the kind of the product part. And also like programmers, like the people that don't understand design, no? The programmers are not designers, but that doesn't mean like they cannot appreciate design, or they are not good at some type of design. As you know, like design is a very general word. There are many words. There are many types of design, and a programmer might be good at one of them, etc., and appreciate good design. the golden rule for the product to be successful in your startup: launch your product on time, don't lose time, don't lose money, don't suffer so much. Reduce the functionality to the minimum. For me, if I have to tell you just one thing that I think is going to be valuable for your startup, is that. Okay? For product, for business, more is more. More clients, more. For product, less is more. The less you put into the product, the most quality is going to have, the sooner it's going to be in the hand of the users, the sooner you are going to know if it works or not. So less is more. Really get to the minimum functionality of what you need to prove your startups to get to the next level. Okay? So always get to the shortest path to the next level in your startup. Okay, some tricks to get to this, no? Okay, so think what you need to prove to get to this next level in your startup. You need to get this amount of users. You need to prove that they pay for this. Okay, you need to prove that X people is interested in this, and build the minimum set of functionalities that allows you to get to that. Don't add nice haves. Don't add things that add value but are not in the shortest path to this. One trick that can work if there is a lot of confusion about this is to say, okay, like to add a feature to the platform, we should to add a feature to the platform, we should get all the founders agree. So if a founder doesn't agree, you can agree on this kind of rule. So if a founder doesn't agree that feature is kind of fundamental for achieving the next step, you shouldn't perhaps include it. Okay, because it's the kind of the variable you control the most, and that is going to allow you to succeed the most, to increase your chances the most. Also, do the business manually. Okay, so try to keep doing stuff. So there's kind of a when the product is not built, do the as much as possible part of what your startup is about without the product. When the product is built, try to just build the product minimum necessary for the user to kind of believe that there is a product, but kind of don't implement the things that the user don't see as much as possible until really is completely necessary. Okay? So, for example, in Uniplaces at the beginning, when the user booked a room, like the customer support people receive an email, okay, and they had to check manually in PayPal dashboard if that was paid or was just someone that clicked book but they didn't pay. Okay, so this is a time for the customer support people, but allow us to launch much sooner, to have less. To get it done, because it's a featureless. We are starting feature, and also in this doing it manually, the rest of the process, like that is not kind of in the front of the product. You learn actually how you have to automatize it, because you can also get in the problem that you automatize too early and you automatize a process that is wrong because you haven't done it manually. So. And that's like a lot of resources and a lot of time, because we saw like we got for like software engineering, it takes a lot of time. And then also like the fake feature, this is very cool. Okay, so you have a discussion about if this feature is interesting. The other day I was saying like in Buffer app, they have like shared like the network. I don't know if you know Buffer app. It's an app that you add like kind of posts and articles and kind of post it in your social networks. Oh, sorry. Let's pretend we don't see her. So, okay. So, Okay, so yeah, Buffer app is like it publish articles that you kind of add to Buffer articles and publish in your social networks the articles. So in your LinkedIn, in your Facebook. So they add this kind of button to add Google Plus, and when you click, it tells you, Google Plus is not implemented yet. Do you want to be informed when it is implemented? And then you click yes, and you get like add to a list that they will inform you when they implement it. So that way they know if the people want that feature before implementing it. So they are saving a lot of time, a lot of resources in engineering, and they can do evaluation of if it is worth to implement the feature or not. So as much as possible, try to do that, okay? As much as possible, try to, like, the action of the user generate emails that then you check manually. In the beginning, you're going to have like very few users, so it's not going to do much work, but it's going to allow you to launch the product much faster. Okay. Nice things. Okay. Okay. So the business needs like a vision and a mission, etc. And it's very important the role of the business guy, probably that is the one that have seen the opportunity and have the vision, okay? And that role is really transmit that vision to the rest of the team, including the tech co-founders and the product team, okay? Not to micromanage, not to enter in this anti-dynamic of the visionary micromanager that is kind of trying to do the product by proxy, but to really make the tech founder understand what is the business about, so he will build the product that if he really understood, okay, what is the business about, he will build the product that solves that problem, okay? Okay, the other way around is also true. Like the tech founder have to go and try to understand the business. Cannot be like expect to be like an employee that is waiting for tasks there. Okay, so it's like kind of both ways. Okay, so then like it's very important. Like everyone in the startup for me that have like ownership of what they do. So if there is a designer co-founder that have complete ownership of the design, that the tech founder completely ownership on building the product, and the business guy also, of course, like completely ownership of the thing. The only restriction we have to put the box is the scope that we have agreed that there is the minimum functionality we are going to implement. But as long we are in that box, the designer should have complete ownership of the design, and the engineers of the kind of the tech part okay. And it's important to involve the tech founders outside the tech staff, more in marketing and customer support. They understand the brand, understand the values of the brand, because they're building the product. They shouldn't kind of make something that mismatches that, and talk to the clients, see what are the real problems to the clients, feel the pain of the actual users, so they will feel much more motivated also to kind of implement something if they are seeing the pain of the actual user. Another thing, like the thing from my experience, like the founder stage, no? I really don't like when we are implementing something, or a designer designs something and say, "Oh, I don't like it," no, and I don't think that's productive, because it's like one of the other founders, like for example, the designer makes some design and say, "I don't like it." Like I don't think that's productive, because it doesn't matter if like this co-founder like it or not. What matters is what the user believes and what the user likes, no? And that's the way we should do. We should put it. Huh?